Yo, Luckies. Welcome back to Luck Management. I'm your host, Carter Loesch, and this is another edition of the Luck Management Lifestyle. We didn't beat Miami. Oh, also, say hello to Lolo. We didn't beat Miami. That was tough. 27-24. Just couldn't figure it out at the end of the day. When you're down 21-7 within the third quarter and you have 8 minutes left, it is hard to come back. But the boys fought. So, hand up, I was wrong. Notre Dame did not beat the number 10 team, the Convicts, Miami. And it's tough to see. It's tough to see these guys do that. Coming off of a national championship berth, no, they didn't win it, but coming off of a championship where they had the opportunity to get back onto the stage and show how Notre Dame football has arrived, and we've stayed there. We've stayed at the level that we need to. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. Really, really hard to see when you have Marcus Freeman talking about being dedicated to the craft, being ready to start fast, when you have all of these guys coming back and you have two feature running backs like Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, two of the best running backs in college football, bar none. And I know I'm a homer. I know I love Notre Dame, but they are the best running backs right now. We have a Heisman favorite for a running back, and you don't see that outside of Ashton Genty and one other guy. And you know what? Jeremiah Love had 4 rushing attempts in the first half. Horrible. Granted, countertop. They threw him the ball a couple times, got him moving around, but absolutely unacceptable. And I get it, the first half, you have CJ Carr coming in. He's got to get used to the game. He's got to do a couple throws. 2-yard throws, quick decisions. I get it. Get him into the flow. But the mismanagement and the inability for Mike Denbrock to take this squad that has so many weapons and not do anything about it, hard to see. Really, really hard to see. Now, our defense is still a big part of why we're going to win a lot of games this year. But, man, no one stood out. No turnovers, no juice. And I'll start with the defensive line. Didn't get to the quarterback much, where you have a couple of All-Americans and Miami's line, but didn't really touch the quarterback too much. Carson Beck, sloth-looking dude, you need to hit him. You need to get him riled up and concerned about hearing footsteps. But you gave him all the time in the world. We heard about Young being on DN. We heard about Donovan Heinisch coming in. We heard about Dawson clogging up the middle. None of that happened. I don't think we had a single sack. And if we did, it was a sack by committee, which is still good, but there just wasn't the advance that I needed to see from Notre Dame's defensive line. If we want to be good, we have to push on that. That is elite. We haven't had that guy in a long time, since like Justin Tuck. But then you go into the linebackers. Drake Bowen, huge centerpiece all last year and up and coming, was quiet all night. I didn't see anything about him that made me stand up and be like, yep, he's going to lead it all the way for us. And that's hard to deal with. But it's game 1, and he's going to be fine. He still had a lot of tackles and everything. You did have Devonta Smith running around. Leonard Moore was a great cornerback, but no turnovers. Last year, we led the whole NCAA in turnovers with 33 takeaways. 0 last night. We got a lot of work to do in these next games against Texas A&M, which is going to be very tough, and then some others that we can do it against, but we got to get that done. And we got to do that sooner rather than later. It was tough not seeing Xavier Watts out there. Loved seeing him in the backfield, always navigating, ball hawking. And no offense to Talich, but seeing a white guy back there, I don't always trust it. The defensive backs just didn't gel like they did last year. So they're still good. And when Carson Beck throws an unbelievable touchdown catch in a Odell Beckham style, you gotta tip your hat a little bit. You gotta say, that's awesome. But at the same time, you gotta go make a play. You're playing for Notre Dame. You're starring on a Sunday night before NFL starts, so you have the whole country watching you. You gotta go out and ball. You gotta go out and do something. And I just did not see that from those guys. Now, they had a few good stops. And you have Christian Gray, who always gets bullied. But the more and more that man gets bullied, the better he plays. He needs a little chip on his shoulder. And once he does, he shows up. And he did. He made a few good stops there. But it just felt disjointed. And it felt like we couldn't get into a flow. Now, I'll stick to defense now for this moment. There were a few plays where we stopped them in the second half, where we really started to gel. We got to the linemen, we pushed hard, and we really made them be on their heels by having to punt to us and having our offense march down the field. That was beautiful to see. Now, we move into the second half. 8-minute drive, they give up this touchdown. So you have 7.5 minutes for Notre Dame to get the ball. We're down 21-7. That's when it feels like all hope is lost right there. For a lot of people. But for my team and knowing Notre Dame, they can push back, and I think they wanted to show some push with CJ Carr. And now we have to remember he's a redshirt sophomore. So coming in, he did not have the experience. He's never played a college football game, but he stepped up. His first touchdown was a no-look pass to Ty Washington. That was sweet. Jordan Faison, who I did not think was going to have a good and big presence this year, absolute beast. All the while, you have Reardon catching a couple passes, Jeremiah Love getting featured a little bit. But where was Greathouse? Greathouse didn't really do much either. And so you just had these pieces that just did not gel. But the resolve was there. The resolve and the ability to make decisions by a young quarterback like him showed that he had the it factor. He really seemed to have the it factor. And I'm grateful for that because I saw that with Riley Leonard. I saw that with Ian Book. He's a smart dude and he knows football in a way that he wanted to will us there. And we go down 27-24 with a minute. That's really hard to go lead a touchdown drive or a field goal drive when you have a oh, what's up, Lolo? When you have everyone always thinks like, oh, why did he get sacked? They have to drop back for more than 4 to 5 seconds. So these guys are getting to the quarterback faster. Our O-line is not incredible, number one. They got to get, even though they literally have more starts than they did last year, but they looked less experienced, not good. But like, what do you expect? Do you expect him to take it all the way down? He just wasn't given the right personnel to do it on the O-line right there. And you have an intentional grounding play. He did make some dumb decisions, but to have 3 total touchdowns right there, CJ Carr looked really, really good. And I'm excited for him. I said he looks like Derek Jeter. Like, I think he is going to have star power to him. and you give him time and you get games underneath him after having to go into Miami and almost stage a comeback in his first collegiate game for Notre Dame, sky's the limit. He needed that put down to lift him up even further. And I think he will stand the test of time, and he will show that he can do that. We'll see. Notre Dame, you're on a spotlight every single game. Doesn't matter if you're playing Navy. It doesn't matter if you're playing USC. It doesn't matter if you're playing Stanford. You have to show up each and every week because every team sees you as a national championship game. That's what they think it is. And rightfully so, because we have built up that pedigree and we need to stick by it. So, we lose. I was sad. Haley got a feature of me, of all the emotions throughout the game, from the highs and the lows and the standing up and pacing and jumping around. Truly, truly a wild night of emotions. And it sucks we lost. But there's a 12 team college football playoff, and we can win the rest of our games. Next week is going to be very hard. Texas A&M, they're a good opponent. They got a fast quarterback. They got a good D-line. And they are coming in with a vengeance after losing last year's game. Also, they have a game this week. You never know, they could get injured, playing 2 games when we've only played 1. But they're going to be seasoned. This rest versus rust. They're probably cooking. 3rd game of the season, you're really feeling it. Notre Dame into the 2nd, first home game, little jitters. I want that place to be loud. I need that place to be moving and grooving. I was going to go to the game. I'm no longer going to the game. Going to the NC State game in October. So we're going to do a luck management get-together podcast for that baby. If you're in town, let's get it. But we need to start fast. But we need to take this weekend and realize that we got a quarterback that is going to be there for the next few years. He could be there for 2 to 3 more years. And if he does, he could be great for Notre Dame. I mean, he even ran a little bit. Wasn't that nice? When he was running a little bit, just getting after it, scoring a touchdown on that. Really, really nice to see. I might have to start betting that. And speaking of bets, yes, I was wrong. So 0-2 for my picks. You'd think Jeremiah Love would actually touch the ball. See, I didn't talk about Jeremiah Love this whole time because you forgot about him in the game. He was a non-factor. And he started running some more. But I tell you something. Stop trying to jump over every single person. It's like spamming the hurdle. And it was horrible to watch. Because I'm scared. I'm scared you're going to get injured, dude. Stop trying to do that. It's not going to work every single time. And you know what? Yeah, you might get over him. I know you're protecting your knees. Protect those knees, dog. You do you. But it just infuriated me because you got helmets going into your stomach. Just be careful, man. I know I'm not the one who's wearing pads, but come on, bro. We need you for the season. You gotta show us and get your way in there. But he had a few more rushes. He needs more. He needs to score 2 touchdowns a game. He needs to touch the ball at least 15 times a game. That's how we win. And then Carr is amazing on the other side and makes great throws. That's the playbook for Notre Dame making it back to the college football playoff. We win the rest of our games. We can do that. We will do that. So, take this weekend. Take a breath. Got a little taste. Got a little love of Notre Dame. And we got the heartbreak that we know so well. But I'm telling you, it's going to be different. We may lose one more. Who knows where? But we are locked in and focused. SAS, believe in the boys, because I know that we can actually figure this out. I know Denbrock's going to figure to get the ball down the field, let those guys run. I know Ash is going to continue to work with his guys. Got to see what he can do. I give him a B. Like, he didn't do anything wrong, but you got to get a takeaway. You got to get a takeaway. And Marcus Freeman, he came in. He's seen that. He's felt losses like that. And so I think it was a good learning lesson. And we're gonna keep learning. We're gonna keep growing. And we're gonna get where we need to get. But you gotta believe in the boys. And you gotta buy some CharmND. I don't know if I can talk about court proceedings. It's not even court proceedings, but I got fanatics coming at me being like, you got to cease and desist on some of this stuff because it's too closely associated to Notre Dame. Yeah, it is called CharmND. Bro, I spent $60,000 to go to Notre Dame for a grad degree. Like, come on. This business is an honor, an homage of Notre Dame. And I get a trademark. I understand that. Notre Dame is very selective of their prints. But I love doing this thing and I love sharing the spirit of Notre Dame with people. It's infectious, and I make cool stuff. I make cool keychains. I make cool necklaces. I make cool earrings. Like, I give things that people want, and it gives them the Notre Dame spirit. So I'm spreading. So you should thank me. I'm like Santa Claus, an Irish Santa Claus, bringing in great products for the people that actually are way more valuable because they're actual pieces from the University of Notre Dame. Disclaimer: no, they're not. They're not. And if you are only listening, I'm blinking. But yeah, get your stuff. I have gone on the website and removed kind of all the affiliations, in air quotes, to the university. So you may see some different names on there. And everything is 25% off right now. So please support the small business. It pays for the podcast, pays for doing these different episodes, and really appreciate it because I honestly find so much pleasure in being able to like work with my hands and build these pieces and go online or think of these things that I want to add to the collection. It really is therapeutic for me, number one, but number two, I get to share something that I've loved ever since I was a little kid. I mean, if you look at this, you can see me from going to games when this is 2004. I'm 8 years old, walking the stadium, like the old Golden Dome right here. And you got me sitting on the steps like a little kid. It's one of those things. I mean, look at that. Tell me that's not the biggest Notre Dame fan you've ever seen. So I do it out of love. I do it for the care of the Irish and to be able to pay for the podcast and you know what? For the work I make, I'm selling it for pretty good prices. So I love CharmND, and in some capacity, it will always be there. You can also like DM me and ask for an order or things like that. But some changes will be coming there. So please, I implore you to think about buying some stuff before I have to take any other things down on what will be discontinued. But for the most part, I do shift away and around the Notre Dame logo, like Irish earrings or the gold helmet. They don't have the ability to actually take me away on those. But in the same capacity, I'm just making sure that everything stays normal. So, really appreciate all the support I've had in these last couple of years doing that. It really means the world to me. And it's something that I'll always love doing. It's something that I'll always give to Notre Dame fans and appreciate because it's holding a piece of Notre Dame in your hands. So thank you. And go buy some CharmND, please. While also got a couple guests coming up, and I'm going to be dropping some cool episodes in these next little bit. I'm going to have the assistant coach probably of the Notre Dame lacrosse team coming on. Got a few other people. I got a secret pocket episode of a few different ones. One with Ryan Eckhouse, our boy from Pick of the Day, and I got another one from my COVID times that I'm going to be bringing in. So there's going to be a lot of cool new content dropping on here. And just want to say I always appreciate you for sticking by and listening and hearing me ramble on. I know the show has evolved in a lot of ways, from interviews and talking to different people, and um, kind of gotten away from that in the last little bit and done a lot more solo episodes. But if you can think of people that you would love to have on, or that you see loves the world of luck management, I got to bring back that world and those conversations. Please let me know. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I love talking to people. It's a true passion of mine, and I'm grateful for all the times that I've been able to share these experiences with you. So you can find us on Apple. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube. What's up, YouTube? But whatever you're doing, as always, keep living the luck management lifestyle. Peace.